Tim, explain to me why we're not talking about LSU enough. I mean, they are ranked 13th in the nation. I get that. They've only lost one game, but they've never been really considered to be that threat. We've talked about Alabama, with Georgia being a distant second, and pretty much nobody else. What's wrong with LSU?
Well, I think why we're not talking about LSU is because we talk about Alabama and Georgia, and they set the standard. Listen, no one's going to live up to Alabama. They're just that much better than everybody else. And I think LSU, if they're in a different conference, they're competing for the college football playoff. But we know they have to go play LSU. They would have to get to a conference championship, which they would play Georgia again probably, and that is just a tough road to hoe. They beat 2 top 10 teams, and people are forgetting Miami's really good now, 5-1. They smashed Miami, and they beat Auburn at Auburn. That's a huge win. So I think people are forgetting what LSU has done, and you're hyping up so many other teams and Notre Dame, but you look at LSU's wins and they're more impressive than most teams in the country.
Let's stay right with Notre Dame, Tim. Number 1, they host Pitt. They have no more ranked opponents on the schedule, so how do they avoid a trap game the rest of the season? And if they win out, can you keep them out of the playoffs? Or the playoffs?
Well, they better avoid a trap game. They're not playing. They don't play a top 25 ranked team, and they've only played one in Michigan. And Michigan under Harbaugh has never won a ranked road game. Ever, not one. And so, I think that we have to look at this Notre Dame team and say, yes, they've been impressive. They've been getting better. Ian Book has done a great job since he's taken command of the ship. But at the same time, we got to see them play against someone that's good. Stanford's not good. Virginia Tech's not good. I know we want to hype it up because they're Notre Dame, but let's wait and see when they play somebody that is good. And listen, if we're comparing a Notre Dame team versus a one-loss LSU or one-loss Oklahoma, who's going to get that nod? I think that is very tough, and I think it's Notre Dame has to be undefeated to make it in, and I think they'll get a lot of support because of their tradition, but they better be undefeated to give themselves a chance, and they better hope another Power 5 conference loses so they're competing against a one-loss team.
Tim, you mentioned Harbaugh. How much pressure is on him in this game against Wisconsin?
I think a lot. I mean, he's never won a road ranked game. He's lost 6 of his last 7 against top 15 ranked teams. He's getting the benefit of the doubt in a lot of areas, but you got to be able to get the job done. You got to be able to find a way to win games, especially against your rivals, and that's something he hasn't been able to do. This is his opportunity against a ranked team in Wisconsin to get a victory and put yourself on the right trajectory to maybe compete with Ohio State at the end of the year. I think it's crucial. I think it's vital. He has to get it done. He has to find a way to say it's not just about hype. It's not just about recruiting. It's about winning. And when he's able to do that, then he'll live up to the hype.
Tim, I never asked you this question before, but I'm interested in getting your take on this because I'm seeing 4-1, 5-1 teams. They're ranked in the top 12 or so, but they're not really a part of the championship picture. Notre Dame, you're talking about how they better stay undefeated just to give themselves a chance. We understand this is college football. You can't play everybody. But are you a proponent of that 4-team playoff system? Do you wish it was 8? Do you wish it was 12? Where do you fall in all of that?
That's a really good question, Stephen. I like it at 4. I like it at 4 because the thing about college football and why it's so special is every single week matters. All right, that's why it's different than college basketball. It's different than college baseball. It's different than the NFL. College football is special because every week matters. And if you fall, you might not get another chance. Now, the 4-team playoff, it gives you a chance maybe if you fall once to still get in, but you have to hope and you have to pray and other teams have to lose. But if you open it up to 6 or 8, then I think you dumb down the regular season. You dumb down these big games that are happening every week. And I want to keep what's special about college football special, and that's that every week matters. You have to show up, or else let's just turn it into 64 teams and play March Madness again. Which March Madness, people I only watch college basketball in March for March Madness. You don't need to watch the regular season. Why? I'll watch the conference playing games, and then I'll watch March Madness. But college football is special because every week matters. And that one game, the kick 6 here at Auburn, when Alabama would have gone, Alabama still would have gone if there's 8 teams or 6 teams that year. But you know what? The kick 6 killed them, and now they couldn't go to the playoff, and that's the year that FSU won. And so I think it's special, and we need to keep it that way.
I don't know why people want to mess with it. And you have a playoff now, and you have a national title game now. It's a season-long at worst, double elimination tournament. It's amazing.
I actually wish it was 8 games.
I could see it going to 8, but no farther. I think 4 works. No further.
I like 8.
Tim, I want to get back to Harbaugh for a second. What gives? Did the guy forget how to coach? The whole point is he'll be able to recruit, he'll coach. It's not the pros where he may burn a team out. College, constant fresh supply, so it'll resonate still. His message is he can't develop a quarterback. Why can't he win? This has been a disaster so far.
I don't think he realized how good the coaches are in college football, and I don't think people really understand that. Is a lot of NFL teams are going to college football or flying to Oklahoma right now to copy Lincoln Riley and what they're doing at Oklahoma's offense. And where the trends in football get set is in college football. That's where the spread came from. That's where the fun and gun came from. That's where the run and shoot came from. It's not the NFL going to college. It's college going to the NFL and going to high school. And I didn't think he realized how good these coaches were, and now he's got to go up against Antonio, and he's got to go up against Urban Meyer, and he's got to go up against so many of these guys that, you know what, they welcomed the challenge. And when he made all those statements, they said, all right, we'll show you what it's like coming to college football. And you know what, that was the same way when Charlie Weiss went to Notre Dame and we were in school, and he said, you know what, guys, we got a 14-point schematical advantage over every team we play. And you know what, we were at Florida, and I was sitting with Urban Meyer watching that press conference. We looked at each other like, oh, please let us go to South Bend. We'll see what 14-point schematical advantage you'll have. You know what? I think these college coaches take pride in saying, you know what? Coach Harbaugh's a good coach, and he took his team to a Super Bowl. But welcome back to college football. You got to get an 18 to 22-year-old ready to come play my team. And you know what? These guys aren't getting paid. You got to motivate them. You got to get them right. You got to coach them up. You got to develop them. There's all those things that have to take place. And I think teams have a chip on their shoulder when they face Michigan and Coach Harbaugh because a lot of the things that he said and done.